Today we are can you just increase that? Are you able to hear me?
No.
I'm not able to. Can you hear me now? हंसयुक्त विमानचारिणी हंसयुक्त विमानचारिणी अंबिके जगदंबिके हंसयुक्त विमानचारिणी अंबिके जगदंबिके हंसयुक्त विमानचारिणी जगदंबिके गानलोले दीनपाले माननीय गुणात्मिके गानलोले दीनपाले माननीय गुणात्मिके घोरकलुषविदात्री शङ्करी वीरचरिते चण्डिके घोरकलुषविदात्री शङ्करी वीरचरिते चण्डिके हंसयुक्त विमानचारिणी अंबिके जगदंबिके सर्वमंगलदायिके सर्वार्थसिद्धिविदायिके सर्वमंगलदायिके सर्वार्थसिद्धिविदायिके यक्षकिन्नरसिद्धचारण रक्षके अखिलकामदेव यक्षकिन्नरसिद्धचारण रक्षके किल कामदेव ते हंसयुक्त विमानचारिणी अंबिके जगदंबिके kalyane niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahma vidvaram. I was away 2 weeks, so we have to catch up with what we have left behind. In this book, Jnana Sara, we have seen the 4th verse. Why so much of emptiness here? Is there any group meeting anywhere going on still? Some orientation meeting? It's all right? Over? Oh, it's a Navaratri holidays for some people. Okay. So in the first few verses it is said that in this world we are successful maybe. We have gained many different possessions, different things we have experienced in this world. But we all know, bottom line is, I'm still not fully satisfied or happy. If you are happy, then you would not be seeking anything more in life. Why we seek iPod or iPad, iPhone 5? Because it is going to add to my happiness, add to my convenience, add to my whatever, or add to my status. So there is always certain amount of emptiness, the lacuna or the vacuum is still there. And therefore we seek things in this world. And nobody in this world, as of now, would say, I'm done. I have completed everything, I want nothing. If somebody is there like that, please tell me where he or she is. I would like to meet that person. Every one of us have something lacking in us, something which we have not fulfilled, which we still feel empty of. And therefore, so long as one is not completely satisfied, that's why he says, Prapta maya lokam anya prasiddhihi Bhogo vibhuktascha janam tatahi labdam sukham neva maya kadapi muktim chahi vanchami adunama mukshu. I want that fulfillment, completeness. And the one who seeks intensely, wanting to find what is the ultimate contentment in life, he is called a mumukshu. What is his understanding? That anything else, anything that I seek in my life is not going to stay with me for long. Whether it's a name, form, name, position, power, money, wealth, status, glory, whatever it is, it doesn't stay for long. He who has recognized that and says that I want something which will last forever, the freedom, the joy which will last forever, that is what I want. He is called a mumukshu, one who seeks moksha. Moksha is not escapism, it is not running away, it is not getting rid of things, but finding fulfillment of life. So, such a person, how should he work in this world? Ishasya dasohamiti prajanan. Thus, I am working in this world as a servant of the Lord. Tenaiva yuktaha vivideshu karmasu. With that understanding, engaging in all actions. Devasya kavyam jagade radadatam. This world is nothing but the poetry of the Lord. The beautiful presence of the Lord. Pashyan sada karma karodi sadakaha. He is called a sadhaka, a seeker, who does with this understanding. That so long as I seek to attain something from my work, I will be disappointed because it doesn't last long. So only way I can really find the complete fulfillment of life is continue to do what I am supposed to do, what I am expected to do. As a householder, as a husband, as a wife, as a parent, whatever action that is coming on my way, according to my status of life, stage of life, as per my responsibilities, I am not going to reject anything. Let me do it. In what attitude? Ishasya dasoham. Bhagavan's law, servant. It has been given to me to fulfill this particular duty of mine. Just like in your own physical body, hands are there, legs are there, eyes are there. Is it not that they are doing their work? They do somebody else's work or what? If eyes decide to listen, ears decide to watch, is it possible? First of all. And secondly, what will be a chaos if some of them decide not to work? Then you have to go to the doctor. If the lungs do not work and the ears do not work or the heart doesn't work, then there is some problem there. Similarly, in this world, if we understand my role is this and I have to do this, not compulsion, but as the gratitude towards the Lord. I am given this particular duty to complete and fulfill, not expecting anything as a result out of it. But this is my way of life that is ordained to me, let me do this. Ishasya dasohamidi prajanan tenaiva yuktaha. With that understanding, vivideshu karmasu, in all different activities, devasya kavyam jagat edat adatam. This whole world is thus therefore a beautiful orchestrated presence of the Lord. Devasya kavyam. This is the poetry of the Lord, the beauty of the Lord. Pashyan sada karma karodi sadhakah. This is the starting point of your spiritual journey. Every one of us, our starting point of our spiritual journey is to recognize your position. What is my position in my life? What is that I am supposed to do? It is unfortunate that people say that in the name of spirituality they say reject the world, go away from this, do something else. It is not the way Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita would teach you. Do what you are supposed to do. With the right understanding, with devotion to God, do it with the love for the Lord. So don't reject any action, don't reject any duty, don't reject any responsibility that is given to you. But do it with a smile. Do it with joy. Do it as a gratitude towards God. Do it as a servant of the Lord. When you happily do your work, people around you will also happily engage in that. Joshayet sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharam. Krishna says, such an individual, an inspiration to the people around him. Our own Gurudev, Vijay Gurudev. He had no need to come down and then live among the people. He would have easily stayed in the Himalayas and become another yogi. But he decided to come to the world and teach the people because I want to demonstrate how to do, how to live. He never rejected any responsibility or duty. He did it with great joy. Nobody asked him to do. Nobody forced him to do. So you do things more joyfully when you are not forced to do it. Is it not true? And you are telling your child, you must study. Every day you go on sitting rebellious. You will do it because you are asking him to do. But if he or she become mature and says, yes, I have to do it. Then you see that joy that comes, and then learning becomes such a spontaneous, effortless experience. So, Ishasya dasoham idi prajanan tenaiva yuktah. That understanding, vivideshu karmas, in all the various activities. When one individual thus engages in action with no expectations in the mind becomes quiet and calm, even in the midst of activities. Because the anxiety is not there. When the anxieties are not there, then expectations are not there, there is no disappointment. The mind becomes so like a it plies, it like a plastic, it just bends. It adapts to situations easily. When we resist, we become like a rod, an iron rod. It is very difficult to bend it. So the mind which has thus become a servant of the Lord with great gratitude and love engages in the work is such a mind which is very calm and peaceful. Only a peaceful mind, calm mind can ask fundamental questions of life. Contemplation is questioning about one's own being. Whereas most of us engage in various other questions. Why is he doing that? Why is she doing that? Why is that fellow? All politics, all these things, because the mind is so extrovert. And unfortunately, when we look at any TV or any other such newspaper, all the questions about what's happening in this world. Why he is doing it, why she is doing this, or only one, and Obama did this and this, and it is irrelevant to you. Isn't that true? Tell me this question. How many of us are bothered about who's going to be the president? Both are same. Anybody who comes will do the same thing. Now, why don't you focus upon personal growth? We spend so much time talking about this unnecessary things. Unless you are in a position where these are all very important. That's a different thing. In your commercial business or any policies matter. Yes. But your personal growth has nothing to do with what others do in this world. So an individual that's decided to engage in the spiritual growth will have to necessarily engage in the world with the intention of purifying the mind, the result of which is the quietude and calmness of the mind. In that calm mind only, questions of higher nature will start. So here in the next verse, the teacher says, verse number 5, Koham kutoham kimidam cha vishvam Kambu jayanti hajanascha devam Prayojanam kim mama jivanasya Jijñāsurevam vichinoti nityam. Now here, the question asks, Koham, who am I? Kutahaham, from where have I come? Kimidam cha vishwam, what is this world? Kam devam janaha iha pujayanti. Who is that God whom people worship here? Mama jivanasya kim prayojanam. What is the purpose, usefulness of my life? Evam nityam jijñāsuhu vichinoti. This is how a man who seeks the right knowledge will start thinking about it. See, in the 13th chapter of Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, there are two things you must understand very clearly. One is called matter, another is called non-matter. Not doesn't matter. Non-matter. Anything that is subject to change is matter. Anything that is subject to birth, growth, change, decay and death is matter. Anything other than that is called a spirit. He calls it as Prakriti and Purusha. Like last time also I explained this part, that this spirit is not staying away but in the midst of matter. That is where the problem comes. Problem means that it is very difficult to identify it. Just like if I give you milk, a cup of milk and say, please drink. But before you drink, I tell you, I might have put sugar or salt or poison. You have to find out. Now, by looking at it, will you be able to see whether I put sugar there, or salt, or poison? In the same way, the matter in which the spirit is present is unseen. So, if you would like to know what I have really put there, sugar or salt or poison, what you should do? Drink it. And if you survive, you can tell me whether it is salty or sugary. Otherwise, you won't be there to tell me. So, in the same way, the spirit here means the Paramatma, the self. Purusha prakritisto hi bhukte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sankosya satasatyonijan. It is present in the matter. So, in the same way, here, the self is presently identified with the matter, is Jiva. Gurudev has explained this in this. This very self, the Paramatma, the self, is presently identified with the body, mind, intellect, is now you and me. You are your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions, your experiences, your knowledge, your qualification, that's what you are. And I am what? My thoughts, my feelings, my memories, my experiences. This Purusha, the self, is identified with the qualities of the matter and becomes you and me. When we independently discriminate or differentiate between the matter and spirit, you will realize the spirit is the same in all. Identified with the matter, it is you, me, she, he, everyone. Independent of the matter, it is only one. So you as a Jiva Atma, I am as a Jiva Atma. We are independent beings identified with individual matter. When we recognize it is not the matter, the Jiva is only one Paramatma. Where is he? Upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeji chapyuktaha dehesmin purusha paraha. It is that self in you and in me, in everyone, who is a constant witness to whatever thoughts are going on in your mind. Upadrashta, close witness. A witness who is ever present and vigilant, constantly watching whatever is going on in your mind. You cannot escape. So Bhagavan Krishna, to enable us to understand the presence of God within each one of us, he is saying you can recognize him by knowing that to be the witness. So you can cheat the entire world, you can cheat everybody in this world except the presence there. Because he witnesses everything that you do. Everything that you do, everything that you think, and he doesn't stop you. Anumantaj. He allows. Because he is of complete belief that if you are to suffer your action will suffer you. Meaning, your action itself will punish you. I don't need to do anything. So the Lord as a witness within is one who is watching every thought, every movement, every emotion, every feeling, everything that you do. Allows you to do, sustains you, Bharta. He makes you an experiencer. Who is he? Paramatma, the self. So this we have forgotten. The presence of the Lord we have forgotten. We are engaged so busily in this world. Therefore, only a quiet mind can ask this question. Koham kutoham kimidam cha vishvam. Who am I? Where have I come from? What is this world? Kam pujayanti janas cha devam. Who is this God who is being worshipped in the temples and churches and mosques? Who is he? Prayojanam kim mama jivanasya. What is the purpose of my existence here? Jijñāsurevam vichinoti nityam. This way, a person who has become calm and quiet in the mind starts thinking. So the role of a teacher is to make sure that the mind of the student is quiet and it's also inquiring. Otherwise, what happens when the mind becomes quiet? One boy was asked, why do Swamiji say, when you sit in the temple, in the assembly, you should be quiet? So the boy answered, because everybody else is sleeping. Everybody else is sleeping. After Vedanta, Mind is become so quiet. Everybody goes to sleep. It is not for the sleep the mind is quietened. It is quietened to ask the question. So, how the mind has become quietened? Because performing actions with no excitement in the mind. Devasya dasoham iti prajanan. Having understood I am that nothing but the servant of the Lord, he engages in all action with that understanding and understands also that this world is nothing but the beautiful poetry of the Lord. Ishasya kavyam jagadeta dadatam. So the question that is to be raised is, Koham, who am I? So in the question when he asks, who am I? Immediately you have a whole list. Swami, I'll give you my biodata. You want my resume, I'll give you. What did you write? This is what I have been doing from now, from 2005 to date. This is what I did. 2002 to 2005, I did this. 2000 to 2002, I did this. 98 to 2000, I did this. This goes on. One woman said, white man. So one woman said, me and my husband were very happy for 25 years. And then we met again. So, you may write all that. When were you born and where were you born and what did you do and then what did you learn and which university you went and what are other things. All that you write up till today. So what you are writing is what you know. When this body was born, where it was born, to whom it was born, why it was born you don't know. That you don't write. Date of birth you write, place of birth, why you are born, blank. Why? I don't know. Where have you come from before your birth? Blank. What was your name before your birth? Blank. That is unknown. So, what is the purpose of my life? Where have I come from? What was my original nature? Koham, kutahaham, kimidam cha vishnu. What is this world? Prayojanam kim? Mama jivanas. What is the purpose of life? Kam devam pujayanti janaha. Who is this God that is being worshipped? These questions would not be there in your answers, would not be there in your resume. Because these are all something not relevant to anybody else going to employ you. These questions can come to a person only when he is interested in the lasting joy, not the fleeting one. This self-forgetfulness is the cause of all our bondages, because we have not asked these questions. One man went to a bar and he was sobbing and crying. So bartender asked, what's wrong? He said, no, 2-3 days back I got married. An old man, he's a very old person. And he said, I married a young girl. And she's so loving, so compassionate, so caring. She takes care of all my needs. She takes care of my home, takes care of my needs and all that. And so caring and so charming, so beautiful, so tender, and all those things. And he again cried. He said, you have such a wife and such a, caring wife. Why are you crying? I forgot where I live. The problem is it not that even though you have all this and you forgot where you live? In the same way, the Upanishad said, we are by nature Ananda Swarup, but we have forgotten. Satchidananda is my nature, but having forgotten that, what is my nature now? Asat, Achit and Dukkha Swarupa. I am subject to death, I am idiot, and I am unhappy. So this forgetfulness is the cause of the person bondage. And to overcome that, I have to go back to ask the fundamental question. Who am I? Koham kudoham. From where have I come? What is my origin? Kim idam cha vishram. And what is this world? Who is being worshipped here? What is the purpose of my life? Jignyasurevam vichinoti nityam. Evam vichinoti. In this way a person thinks. Who is he? Jignasuhu. One who wants to know. Swamiji, I don't have any questions like that. I am only interested in what is going to be the share market tomorrow morning. If we are so extrovert, only interested in immediate gains and consequent losses, we will be living in on the rudderless boat on the ocean, captainless ship. Oh, here, there, and thrown here, there, and thrown there, thrown here. So here, this cannot be answered by any scriptures. This cannot be answered by anybody else. And on your own, you will never find that answer. These questions cannot be answered by logic. Logic is the relationship between cause and effect. The logical reasoning is to find and identify the relation between cause and effect. Karya Karana Sambandha, it's called. It's called Karya Karana Sambandha. Effect and cause relationship. So, science always proceeds with this premise. Everything has a cause. Every effect has a cause. And the relationship between cause and effect is to be understood. Once you understand the relationship between the cause and effect, you can predict the effect. Correct or not? Based upon the qualities of the karanam, meaning the cause, you can predict and understand the behavior of the cause. The effect. Science, let us take the medical science. What do? They look at the symptoms, try to find out what could be the cause, and understanding the cause, they will understand what will be the behavior of this effect. This is how every science proceeds. This is logical reasoning. If you use this logical reasoning and find out your origin, you will never be able to do it. Who am I? My son's father. My father's son. Okay, good. So that is the relationship. My father is the cause, I am the effect. Do you behave like your father? Sometimes. So, it is not the effect can ever behave different from its own cause. A gold chain will behave like gold only. It cannot be anything else. It cannot behave like a wood. It cannot behave like plastic. It has to behave like what? The cause. If it is differently behaving than the cause, then the cause is only a temporary cause there. It is not the ultimate cause. A relative cause it is. What do you call it as? What is the word for that? An agent. What is it? It's only an agent which made it possible. Catalyst. So your father is the catalyst for your birth, not the cause of your birth. So who is the ultimate cause of my being? Yes, again let us look at it. Is it not the physical body of yours? Your physical body must have the origin from your own father's food, but not the life. Life cannot be created. What is the cause of life? What is the origin of life? Where does it begin? Can you say a tree is there and another small plant has come out of the seed of the tree has become the cause of the plant? No doubt, the tree has created the seed, but it also has come from some other form. The life of the tree is not owned by the tree. The seed may be, yes. Similarly, the origin of life is not matter. So what is the origin of life? So who am I? Who am I when you ask this question? Not who am I as this physical body. I am not asking that question. Who am I as the living presence here? From where that has come? Kutaham. And I see the whole world is nothing but the vibrant presence of life. Everywhere, plant, animal, human, birds, everything, all insects, all living beings are not, just without them, the world will be dead. All this vibrant presence there. Kimidam Vishnu. What is this word? Living presence. And that very living presence, the very life is what is worshipped there as the Lord in the temple or a church or a mass. That very presence, the life within all of us is what is glorified and worshipped there as Bhagavan. Kyam pujayanti janas devam. Who is that being worshipped there? This way, questioning is the nature of a jitnyasu, one who seeks to know. Prayojanam kim mama jivanasya. Then ultimately, what is the prayojanam? What is the ultimate fulfillment of my life? Is it not true that, okay, I have whatever experience in this life and I have been going on, but there are so many things which I have not experienced, that becomes the cause of next birth. What you have not accomplished, what you are not experienced, which still you want to experience, becomes the cause of the next birth. So your birth today in the next birth is being drawn by you as a blueprint now itself. So this continuously going on. That is not the prayojanam of life. That is not the purpose of life. To come back again, that is not the purpose of life. To find the ultimate end. So these questions, 4 questions basically, 4 or 5. Koham, who am I? Kutahaham, where have I come from? Kimidam cha Vishwam, what is this world? Prayojanim kim mama jivanasya, what is the purpose of my life? Who is the Lord that is being worshipped in this world? All the 5 has not only one answer. To know that one answer, one must reach the abode of a teacher. The teacher who has read the Shastras, trying to live up to the standard of the Shastras or the scriptures, is the one out of his or her own personal experience will impart that knowledge. That's why Krishna also says in Gita, Tadvitti pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. The teacher out of compassion will answer you this question if you have approached him with humility, surrender and with a questioning mind. With an attitude of seva, service. Because the teacher doesn't expect anything from the student at all. What does he want is sincerity. You are asking question out of your own eagerness, out of your own seeking of knowledge, not to test the teacher. Not because it's a question to be asked as a fact. Notice many people say that, I am only spiritual. I am not religious, I am spiritual. You ask him, what do you want to know? No, just spiritual. What do you want? Just like, not to live. Kao pivo mojuna. Kao pivo mojuna. Pi kaso. Pina kanasona. Meaning, I should not have any restrictions of my life. Freedom. That is not the spiritual life. Spiritual life is where you seek the ultimate answer to that question of life and live up to it. So here in the next verse, the teacher says, Tarkena naisha matirapaneya Jnatva shrutir gacchati sadgurum yaha Viveka Vairagya Samadhi Yuktaha Gurum Hi Seveta Sa Sishyavaryaha. See, beautiful flow of thoughts. From the ignorant individual, an individual becomes sadhaka. From a sadhaka, he becomes mumukshu. From the mumukshu, he becomes jignasu. From jignasu, he becomes shishya. A person who is living, I have everything and all the enjoyment, I have experienced everything, but still I am not able to get the ultimate joy, is a mumukshu. Wanting the fulfillment of life, then he seeks, what should I do now? How do I engage in this world? I should engage in this world like a servant of the Lord. I should do my duties and responsibilities without expectations. I must do it with love and joy and happy. Being happy to do what I am doing. He becomes sadhaka. Sadhaka means a spiritual seeker. Once the mind has become relatively quiet because of the mind not being very agitated and excited, such a mind will start asking questions, who am I, where have I come from, what is this world, who is the Lord, and what is the purpose of life? He becomes a jignasu, a seeker of knowledge. A seeker of knowledge thereafter reaches the abode of a teacher to become a disciple. How did he become a disciple here? He understands these questions can never be rationally understood. Answers to this is not a logic. Tarkena naisha matirapaneya. Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. This is a statement from the Upanishads. Esha matihi tarkena na apaneya. Esha matihi, this understanding, tarkena, by logic, na apaneya, not possible to know. For the logic, as I said, is a relationship between the cause and effect. There is no particular thing can be understood as the cause of life. What is the origin of life? Cannot be matter. Okay. The origin of life, origin of existence is what then? Is it one or many? If it is one, why the many? If it is only one is the source of life, why the variety here? What is this variety? Meaning, what is this world? World means what? Plurality, variety. Variety came from where? For example, that goldsmith takes one chunk of gold, melts it, and then with that melted gold, he makes various molds of various necklaces and various rings and bangles and whatnot. Isn't it? Various designs. So the various designs and varieties of golden ornaments that when you see, you know, essentially everything is gold. The varieties are various appearances. You take all of them, melt again, it becomes one single solid gold. So the variety is only an appearance. It has no reality of its own. It is relativity. You take one gold necklace here, one ring there, one bangle from there, and put them all together and heat it up. One solid liquid of gold. Where is the variety came from? One is small, one is big, one is beautiful, one is not so beautiful, one is thick, one is thin. So the variety that is there is only a relative perception, but the absolute reality is everything is one. This understanding that the variety is plurality is only a relative existence, it has no reality, this understanding cannot happen by looking at it. So the teacher who is well versed in the scriptures have to be approached. Jnatva shrutehe, due to this understanding he gains from scriptural knowledge, sadgurum yaha gacchati, he who goes to a teacher. Because even though intellectually I understand, unless it becomes an experience, you will never be convinced. No knowledge is complete without experience. I may have the knowledge, I can be talking about it, I can explain to you and I can demonstrate to you, I can rationalize, all that thing is fine until it becomes an experience. Once it becomes an experience, you don't need to explain too much because you know it. Right? So he needs to approach a man who has experienced it to confirm it. Is my understanding correct? Sadguru is not sad guru. In English it says sad gurum gacchati. What do you mean a sad guru? Sadguru. Sad means he who knows the truth. So, Tatkena naisha matirapaneya nyatva shrude gacchati sadgurum yaha. He who goes and approaches the teacher having thus understood from the scriptures that this answer to these questions cannot be logically understood. See, if you say, I am very happy, let us say you come and tell me, I am a happy person. Now I ask you, prove it to me that you are happy. How will you prove it to me? You may laugh. That anybody can laugh. That doesn't mean you are happy. So many people smile. Do you mean to say everybody is happy? They smile because you happen to be in front of them. Smile. There's a difference between smiling out of happiness and smiling out of formality, right? You, when you are flying in the aircraft, as you enter into that air hostess, come on. You mean to say they are very happy that you have come? Serve them whole day. Their smile is a formality. It's not out of happiness. So, therefore, if I say, show me that and how do you prove that you are happy? How will you prove? Tell me. How do you prove that you are happy? Can you? So, certain of our experiences can never be demonstrated and proved to be to others as true. It is my own personal experience. If I am happy, I know it, even if you don't believe me. So he approaches a teacher who has confirmed it. Is my understanding right or not? This he wants to confirm. Jnatva shrutehe, having understood from the scriptures that this cannot be logically explained, therefore he goes to a teacher. So the role of a teacher is so crucial in the spiritual path. Otherwise you don't need it because all the books are there, Google is there. You can gain any amount of knowledge about everything in this world, but no confirmation. Who can confirm that what you are knowing is right? Who can confirm it? Even in any field, when you want to be an expert, you not only have to learn it thoroughly, but also to be in the presence of the person who has experienced it. He says you are right. Then only it is authoritatively must be confirmed by a person who has experienced it. And the teacher who thus wants to impart that or to tell you that it is right will test you. What he will test? Viveka vairagya samadhi yuktaha. You cannot experience that knowledge unless you have developed vivek, vairagya and shama, dama, uparati, tidiksha, shraddha, samadhi. You have developed the inner qualities for this. Discrimination, dispassion, self-control, quietness of the mind, withdrawal of the mind, faith, shama, dama, uparadi, titiksha, tolerance, and mind has become placid in samadhi. Then you may probably get the glimpse of it. Viveka vairagya samadhi yukta. Gurumhi, then out of that need to experience the truth, having developed these qualities, he serves the teacher. Gurumhi seveta. Sa Shishya Varya is the best disciple. Disciple, the very word means discipline. He who follows is called a disciple. He who follows the discipline. In Sanskrit also, Shishtam Anucharati Shishyaha. He who follows a discipline. Our life, when we look at it, we have no discipline at all. Whenever you want to get up, you get up. Whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to eat. Whatever you want to do, no discipline. So Anushtan is not there. The conduct is not guided by knowledge. Conduct is guided by needs. So our way of living is not decided by that we want to evolve. Our way of life is decided by what the senses demand. Whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to indulge in. So that is not the way of discipline. So a teacher is one who constantly watches the student, making sure that he has the ultimate the desire to know, desire to experience, and because of which he has developed the quality of discrimination, dispassion, quietude of the senses and the mind. See, if you want to learn any art, for example, the teacher has to, let's say somebody wants to learn karate or kung fu or taekwondo. Is it not true that the teacher makes sure that your body is flexible enough to practice, for which he gives certain disciplines? In the same way, if that experience of the reality has to take place, the mind has to become such a flexible one. It cannot be adamant, it cannot be what do you call it? Inflexible. So the mind which is inflexible is old. Just like the physical body inflexible is old. The physical flexibility of the body is youth. Mind has to be flexible for a disciple. Which means he has nothing to complain about. He is able to tolerate. He is able to accept. He is able to evolve. He has to come out of it. No situation, no experience will ever hold him down. He is never going to be disturbed and dejected by the situations that is around him. That is called dispassion. He can come out of it immediately. Cannot be contained and controlled by situations. So Viveka Vairagya Samadhi Yuktaha Gurum Hi Seveda Sashirshya Varyaha. Why should he serve a teacher? Is it the teacher demands him to serve? No, out of his own respect and reverence to the teacher. Because this knowledge can be gained only when the teacher starts having compassion for the disciple. Cannot be demanded, because gurus cannot be bought. You cannot buy with money. You can gain the knowledge only when the guru finds that you are sincere and out of love for the disciple, he imparts that knowledge. Krishna also says, Bhaktosi me saka chedi rahasyam hedaduttamam. I am telling you this knowledge to you because, oh Arjuna, understand, you are my devotee and you are my friend. Bhaktosi me saka chedi. Because I love you, you love me, and I know you, you know me, therefore I am giving you this knowledge. So we'll see the importance of the Guru and how he imparts this knowledge in the next, how the teacher starts teaching, that we'll see in the next session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.